For 2.5 million years, the Earth's climate has fluctuated, cycling from ice ages to warmer periods. But in the last century, the planet's temperature has risen unusually fast, about 1.2 to 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Scientists believe it's human activity that's driving the temperatures up, a process known as global warming.
Hello everyone, my name is XIANG.
And my name is KHAI.
The topic for our video is Tackling Global Warming, Urgent Actions for Climate Mitigation. So, what actually is climate change?
Climate change refers to significant long-term changes in the average weather patterns of Earth. It encompasses both natural processes and human-driven factors.
Particularly, the increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, such as carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. Alright, after looking on the definition, let's dive into details about the major driver of climate change, global warming.
So, before talking deeper into the topic, let's interview two students from University Malaya about their ideas on global warming.
Sorry, may I interview your occupation?
Yes.
What's your name?
My name is Ryan Mitigation.
What do you know about global warming?
Global warming, I think global warming is the increase of temperature of the Earth. Then I think I also know that it's when those factories, right, when they produce those greenhouse gases and makes the ozone layer. I just know a bit lah.
So, what you do to tackle global warming?
Tackle global warming. I used to plant trees when I joined a NGO lah. It's for saving the environment, and I also, take plastics and recycle them so they don't get burned and produce those gases to harm the environment. Yeah.
So global warming should be tackled to protect our planet?
Yes.
Hello, may I interview you?
Yes.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Winter.
Winter. Okay, Winter. Can I know what do you know about global warming?
I think global warming is a serious issue that happens around us, where the temperature of the Earth is getting warmer over time. Moreover, greenhouse emissions, especially for industry and vehicles, are very harmful to our environment.
Okay, so can you share your opinions about the some effects of global warming?
In my opinion, I think global warming will cause rising in temperature, leading to a rise in sea level. Besides that, species lost their habitats due to deforestation. And apart from that, I think agriculture also has been affected due to global warming.
That's a good opinions. Thank you.
Now, let's look at the precise definition of global warming. Global warming is the long-term rise in Earth's average temperature due to human activities, mainly release of greenhouse gases. It is a key aspect of climate change, which also includes shift in weather patterns, sea level rise, and ecosystem disruption. But global warming specifically focuses on increase in temperatures.
Well, there could be several factors linked to global warming, but there are two major factors, which are burning fossil fuel and deforestation.
First, burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas. This fuel powers our electricity, transportation, and industries. When that burn, carbon dioxide, a key greenhouse gas, is released into atmosphere, trapping heat and raising temperatures. Guess what? Transportation, including cars, trucks, ships, and airplanes, is one of the significant contributors to carbon dioxide emissions.
Next, deforestation. Cutting down forests or for agriculture, logging, or urban expansion remove the trees that naturally absorb CO2. Forests are carbon sinks that absorb more carbon than they release. But when they are destroyed, not only do we lose the benefit, but the carbon stored in the trees is released back into the atmosphere, further fueling global warming. So, you might be thinking of these questions. How does global warming affect humans' life? There are two massive impacts. First, human health.
Impact of global warming on human health is growing at a record-breaking pace. That's according to a report out today in the Lancet Medical Journal. CBC's Marianne Demain is here with more on this story. So Marianne, what does the report say about health effects from extreme heat?
Yeah, and we are already seeing that we just came out of a very hot summer. This is a conversation that's been going on for quite some time, not only here in Canada, but around the world. And this report, now published in the Lancet, looked at 15 indicators that measure health threats. And it says 10 out of those 15 indicators are reaching alarming levels. That's the wording that this report describe this situation as. To break down the numbers, it says heat-related deaths of people 65 and over went up by 167% compared to the 1990s. It said last year we had 50 more days of health-threatening temperatures, and heat exposure led to a record $512 billion of potential work hours lost in 2023. That's 49% more above the average of 1990 and 1999, especially people who work outdoors, the people who work in construction, even agriculture. Now, when we're talking about the impact on the conditions and the weather, we know that extreme heat has led to not only droughts, but flooding. We saw the impact of climate change even on the hurricanes recently, including Hurricane Milton that just hit Tampa very recently. But when it comes to Canada, we're also seeing that in the form of a record-breaking wildfire season. And we spoke to the author of the Canadian section of this report, which will be fully released on November 1st. And she talked about how heat really has a domino effect on our healthcare system.
Frequent and intense heat wave due to increase of temperature put people at risk of heat stroke, dehydration, and exhaustion. The elderly, children, and those with pre-existing health conditions are especially vulnerable.
Secondly, food and water security. Global warming also impacts food and water security. Shifting rainfall patterns, droughts, and extreme heat are causing crop failures, threatening food supplies and driving up prices. Not only that, water scarcity problem is worsening as glaciers melt and rainfalls become more unpredictable. Many regions like California and parts of Africa are facing severe water shortage, affecting agriculture, drinking water, and daily life. Global warming is one of the most presenting challenges of our time, but we already have solutions to mitigate its effect and protect our planet. Let's explore two key strategies: transitioning to renewable energy and improving energy efficiency. First, transitioning from fossil fuels to renewable energy is a critical solution. Energy sources like solar, wind, and hydropower produce clean electricity without harmful greenhouse gas emissions. For example, expanding solar farms and promoting rooftop solar panels can provide affordable, sustainable energy while reducing carbon emissions.
Next, improving energy efficiency helps us use energy smarter and waste less. One great example is smart grids. This advanced system that optimizes energy distribution, ensuring electricity is delivered efficiently while integrating renewable energy into the grid. One a simpler skill, switching to LED bulbs can significantly reduce energy consumption in homes, business, and public spaces, making everyday action part of the solution. While innovative solution plays a key role, combating global warming also requires collective action from global leaders to local governments. Let's look at the effort made by global organizations and the Malaysian government to combat this crisis. In 2015, 196 countries adopted the Paris Agreement during the United Nations Climate Conference. The agreement sets a goal to limit global temperature rise to well below 2 degrees Celsius, preferably 1.5 degrees Celsius, compared to pre-industrial levels. The key areas of focus include decarbonization, which is transitioning to renewable energy and reducing reliance on fossil fuel. Also, climate finance, which wealthier nations provide financial support to developing countries for climate mitigation and adaptation.
Malaysia also has shown long-term commitment to global warming action. Under the 11 Malaysian Plan from 2016 to 2020, Malaysia committed to reducing carbon intensity by 45% by 2030 compared to 2005 levels. Key strategies include enhancing energy efficiency and transitioning to renewable energy sources such as solar power. Let's move to the data analysis that support the necessity of climate action. According to yearly data for surface temperature from 1880 to 2023 compared to 20th century average, as you can see here, there is a drastically increase after 2000 years.
Next, here is the statistics show the distribution of Arctic sea ice as done by age group during the week in September for each year. From this statistic, the coverage area of sea ice is shrinking year by year and it will lead to an increase of global sea level.
Also, the researchers analyzed studies that use a methodology known as extreme event attribution, which connects human-related greenhouse gas emissions and changes in extreme weather events. Using this method, a data set of 185 study events was identified, a cost of 2.86 trillion in total that due to the climate change from 2000 to 2019.
Track. Lots to talk about with our environment correspondent, Matt McGrath, who joins us now. Matt, firstly, big picture, could you explain the situation for us? But starting with what exactly are greenhouse gases and what do they do?
We're talking here, Lucy, about the three key greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, methane and nitrous oxide. They build up in the atmosphere. Some of them are soaked up by trees and by seas, but a lot of them remain in the atmosphere for decades, if not centuries, and they are the main key drivers of warming. What this report shows is that over the last 20 years, as you've been saying, those concentrations have increased to a level now not seen in 3 to 5 million years. That's quite a thought, really. And what we've also seen in this report is the impacts in 2023 of the other activities that humans are doing, as well as heavy ongoing use of fossil fuels. Those activities include the burning of forest fires, which are putting up emissions from places like Greece and from Canada and across all parts of the world in that particular year. We also saw the onset of El Nino in that year, which drove up temperatures and made trees less able, perhaps, to soak up that carbon. And it's worth bearing in mind that the trees and the seas, they are our natural allies here. They soak up about half of all the carbon we produce. If there's evidence, and the WMO suggests that parts of the Amazon are not able to soak up carbon anymore, that would be a significant a negative effect going forward.
Climate action is critical to addressing the challenges we face today. There are two key areas highlight why urgent action is important, which are protecting human health and safeguarding ecosystem.
First, protecting human health. Climate action goes hand in hand with reducing air pollution, which has severe consequences on health. Activities like burning fossil fuels for energy, transportation, and industry release harmful pollutants such as carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, and particulate matter. These pollutants can cause respiratory diseases, cardiovascular problems, and other chronic health issues. By transitioning to clean energy and sustainable transportation, we can significantly reduce these health risks.
Next, protecting ecosystems. Climate change is already disrupting ecosystems, leading to habitat loss and species extinctions. Coral reefs are bleaching due to rising ocean temperatures, and forests, which are vital to our planet, are threatened by drought and wildfires. By taking climate actions, such as reducing deforestation and restoring natural habitats, we can preserve biodiversity and maintain a balanced environment for generations to come.
As we have seen, global warming is one of the most staggering issues of our time, impacting not only the planet, but also our daily life. From rising temperatures and extreme weather events to the loss of biodiversity, the effects are already here. But the good news is that we all have the power to make a difference.
Every small action counts, from reducing energy consumption and supporting renewable energy to making sustainable choices in our daily life. Together, we can fight global warming and protect our planet for future generations.
Let's join the movement.
Fight global warming,
Protect our future.